Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Biden's Starmer put off Ukraine missiles decision after talks at White House. Biden says Putin will not prevail in the war in Ukraine. U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump pledges mass deportation of Haitian immigrants if elected. U.S. President Joe Biden urges attacks on Haitian community to cease. Stranded NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore says they feel grateful for their extended stay in space despite difficulties. Asked for ballots to vote for November 5th presidential elections. And in hockey, India ready for high voltage encounter against fierce rivals Pakistan at the Asian Champions Trophy in China. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer signals halt on suggestions allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles that can hit targets inside Russia after talks with US President Joe Biden in Washington. Both the leaders met at White House for the discussions on how to deal with the emerging situation in Russia-Ukraine conflict and also how much flexibility can be given to Kyiv on using the Western-supplied arms. The British Prime Minister indicated that he and Biden would now discuss the plan at the UN General Assembly in New York the week after next, with a wider group of individuals. The talks took place in the backdrop of Russian President Vladimir Putin's warning to Western nations of grave consequences if Ukraine fired long-range missiles at Russia. Before the meeting, officials had said that Starmer would press Biden to back his plan to send British Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine.
I think if you look at both the Ukrainian situation and the Middle East, it is obvious that in the coming weeks and months there are really important potential developments, whatever timetables are going on in other countries, and that's why I wanted to have this opportunity to talk directly to the President and his invitation here about those decisions in the next few months, but to make sure that those decisions were, as it were, pitched in the wider strategic thinking that we share in relation to Ukraine, the Middle East, and Indo-Pacific.
Leadership on this front, the United States is committed to standing with you to help Ukraine as it defends against Russia's onslaught and aggression. Clear that Putin will not make it clear Putin will not prevail in this war, and the people of Ukraine will.
Whereas the White House called the threats made by Putin incredibly dangerous.
And this war can end. This war, the war that we're seeing in Ukraine, the aggression from Russia can end today. Can end today. Russia can move their troops out of Ukraine, and it can end. So that type of rhetoric is incredibly dangerous, but it's not new.
The Israeli army took reporters to expose tunnel shafts in the Tel El Sultan area of Rafah on Friday that they say were uncovered by Israeli troops in southern Gaza. The tour included a stop at an entrance to an underground chamber where the Israeli military says the bodies of 6 Israeli hostages killed by Hamas were recovered on 1st of September. The military did not allow reporters into the tunnel, citing security reasons.
There is a complete maze of tunnels here in Tel El Sultan. You just heard the shootings. We're still looking and searching for terrorists in this area, and we are gathering all the DNA and the forensic to find and hunt those terrorists who committed this horrific crime here.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met with top Russian security official Sergei Shoigu and discussed deepening strategic dialogue between the two countries. Kim held a bilateral meeting with Shoigu and discussed a wide range of views on regional and international issues. They also agreed on cooperation to defend mutual safety interests. And now we get to some news from the hustle and bustle of campaigning for the U.S. presidential polls. In Pennsylvania, a key swing state, Democratic nominee Kamala Harris criticized former President Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, for his debate performance.
Instead, it was the same old show, the same tired playbook, we've heard for years with no plan on how he would address the needs of the American people. Well, folks, it's time to turn the page. Turn the page.
Former U.S. President and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump doubled down on Friday on his anti-migrant attacks, despite facing criticism for amplifying a conspiracy theory targeting the Haitian immigrants. Donald Trump said that if elected president again, he would initiate large deportations from the Ohio city that has seen a recent influx of Haitian migrants whom he has baselessly accused of eating cats and dogs.
We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals, not all of them, but the rest are moving in now. They emptied their jails in Venezuela, emptied their criminals, emptied the nests. They call them nests of bad people. They're all now in the United States, and they're now taking over cities. It's like an invasion from within. And we're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country. And we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora.
U.S. President Joe Biden told Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump to stop stoking tensions against Haitians by spreading a bogus story about immigrants eating pet cats and dogs in an Ohio town. Biden said this as he brought up the issue at a Black Excellence brunch at the White House, 2 days after Trump amplified the debunked rumor in a televised debate with Kamala Harris. Biden said that there is a proud Haitian American community that's under attack in our country right now. It's simply wrong, adding that there was no place in America for such comments.
I want to take a moment to say something like so many Americans like Karine, as he pointed out, a proud Haitian American community that's under attack in our country right now. Simply wrong. There's no place in America. This has to stop. What he's doing. It has to stop.
Stranded NASA astronauts Barry Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams said that they feel grateful to spend more time in space despite the difficulties. Despite being stranded in space, they did not forget their responsibility for democracy. Answering a question on voting for November 5th presidential election, Wilmore said that he sent down his request for a ballot today as it is a very important duty and NASA makes sure that they are able to cast their votes. Sunita agreed and said she is looking forward to be able to vote from space. It was their first public comment since the Boeing Starliner capsule that took them to the ISS in June returned to Earth. They were not carried along as the capsule developed many technical snags deemed too much risky for them.
I sent down my request for a ballot today, as a matter of fact, and they should get it to us in a couple of weeks. And absolutely, yes, it's a very important role that we all play as citizens is to be included in those elections, and NASA makes it very easy for us to do that. So we're excited about that opportunity.
Marcia, same here. You know, it's a very important duty that we have as citizens, and looking forward to being able to vote from space, which is pretty cool. You asked what we miss, right? Of course, you know, the things that we always miss, our families. I miss my 2 dogs. I miss my friends. But you know what? Like Butch said, there are so many people on Earth that are sending us messages, and it makes you feel just right at home with everybody when we're able to have those conversations with our friends and family at home.
Germany has agreed to open the doors to 250,000 skilled and semi-skilled Kenyan workers in a new labor migration agreement. This deal addresses Kenya's struggles with job creation for its young professionals and Germany's need for skilled labor. In a joint news conference with Kenyan President after the agreement, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that Germany needs labor from Europe and many other countries around the world to help out the economy.
Deutschland braucht Arbeitskräfte.
Germany needs labor from Europe and many other countries around the world to help out here. The fact that we have managed to do this quite well in recent years is the reason why we are here in such a stable economic position. In the last 10 or 20 years alone, more than 6 million additional workers have come to Germany and entered the labor market. Otherwise, we would be in a completely different situation now, a much worse one.
Arbeitsmarkt eingetreten.
We are happy with this agreement that gives us an opportunity to use our human capital talent to support your industries. We would be happier if Parliament can allow some of the industries to come to Kenya. so that we don't have to export the people. But I think this framework gives us an opportunity to avoid illegal migrants, because illegal migrants pose a problem both to us and to Germany. That's why this framework gives us a good way forward.
Kenyan President William Ruto stated that this agreement provides an opportunity to leverage human capital to support various industries. A mega drought is gripping Brazil, drying out rivers and turning forests into tinderboxes. Amid the worst drought on record, Brazil continues to battle thousands of fires, with smoke impacting major cities like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, as well as the neighboring countries. Major Amazon basin rivers are registering historic lows, and uncontrolled man-made wildfires have ravished protected areas and spread smoke over a vast expanse, plummeting air quality. Almost 60% of the country has been affected. According to satellite data from the National Institute of Space Research, in the first 12 days of September this year, the number of fires has already surpassed those recorded during the same period last year. Storm Francine has left hundreds of thousands without power and caused widespread flooding after slamming the coast of Louisiana before driving inland. Aerial footage and ground videos released show extensive flooding in Livingston, Louisiana in the aftermath of Francine. As the storm moved inland, crew began clearing roads and restoring electricity, while neighborhoods and businesses started cleaning up the mess. There were no immediate reports of deaths or injuries. The National Hurricane Center said in a statement that Francine will continue to bring heavy rainfall and the risk of flash and urban flooding, along with river flooding. This will be across the portions of lower Mississippi Valley. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the world. Excited fans arrived at the city of Rock, the Rock in Rio music festival that opened its doors. The American rapper Travis Scott was Friday's main attraction in a lineup that will include A-list pop stars. Historic names such as AC/DC, Rod Stewart, Britney Spears, Queen and Anita have graced the festival's stage. The first full day of London Fashion Week kicked off with a nod to the swinging 60s by Irish designer and LFW veteran Paul Costello and Turkish designer Bora Aksu. Models wore tailored jackets, some with puffy or patterned shoulders and sleeves, as well as lace and draped dresses. Florals adorned some of the designs. A new immersive installation inspired by Barbie's dream house and the desert landscape of Greater Palm Springs, California, is on display as part of this year's London Design Festival. 3 pavilions in central London featuring scenes inside the famed Metal Doll's home are seen through small windows, as well as a mini garden space with a cacti to be explored. A quick break ahead. You're watching DD India Live, but after the break, on the occasion of Hindi Divas today, we get you a special report on the growing global embrace of the language. Sabrimala Temple in Kerala opens doors for devotees for the special Onam rituals and festivities. And winning streak continues as Indian men and women win 3 out of 3 at the Chess Olympiad in Budapest.
It is our own unsustainable human activity that is the biggest threat for our planet. So what can we as individuals do to save and preserve our ecosystems?
We provide a bridge between nature and our urban environment.
So we started rescuing an animal on field, or you're bringing the animal into the rescue center where it undergoes rehabilitation and then is reintroduced back to the wild.
It's very important that they understand the journey they're about to take on, which is tree planting. So this particular pencil, for it has seeds inside, and they're using it to study, but at the end of the day, it's going to translate into a tree. A tree was cut and a tree is going to be planted.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Today, the nation proudly celebrates Hindi Divas, a day dedicated to honoring and promoting the Hindi language. While this occasion is observed with fervor in India, its impact is being felt across the globe. Let's take a look at this special report.
The significance of Hindi has transcended borders with recent events during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Moscow, Ukraine, Austria and Poland, highlighting the growing global embrace of the language. From international citizens speaking in Hindi to performing dance routines on Hindi songs, the spirit of Hindi is truly international. As India celebrates Hindi Divas, the influence of the Hindi language is reaching beyond the country's borders. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visits to Ukraine, Austria and Poland, foreign citizens embraced Hindi in heartwarming displays of cultural exchange. In Ukraine, local citizens not only spoke in Hindi but also sang popular Hindi songs during the Prime Minister's visit, adding a unique flavor to the event. In Austria, the atmosphere was equally vibrant. And in Poland, a similar spirit was evident, with Hindi songs and speeches bringing together communities to honor the cultural ties between the two nations.
हम बहुत चाहते हैं कि सांस्कृतिक संबंध, राजनीतिक संबंध दृढ़ होते जाए और हमारे देशों के बीच मैत्रीपूर्ण संबंध बढ़ते जाए।
मुझे बहुत आशा है कि इस मुलाकात के बाद लोगों को ज़्यादातर लोगों को ये पता हो जाएगा कि वास्तव में यूक्रेन और भारत के बीच अच्छा रिश्ता बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
मुझे हिंदी बहुत पसंद है क्योंकि भारत एक दिलचस्प और बहुत सुंदर देश है।
वंदे मातरम सुजलाम सुफलाम मालयज शीतलाम।
As Hindi Divas shines a light on the importance of India's official language, the growing international participation in cultural events, especially during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's foreign visits, signals that Hindi is becoming a language of global goodwill. Whether through songs, speeches or performances, the love for Hindi continues to build bridges between cultures and nations. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to address a public rally in Jammu Kashmir's Doda and Haryana on Saturday for the BJP for the upcoming assembly elections. This will be the first visit by Prime Minister to Doda in nearly 50 years. Union Minister Jitendra Singh visited the venue on Friday evening to review preparations for this public meeting on September 14th. With these rallies, Prime Minister will also address voters' concerns and highlight BJP's vision for continued growth and stability, and also emphasize on the government's effort to empower development. India's Union Home Minister and Minister for Cooperation, Amit Shah, will address inaugural session of official language Diamond Jubilee celebrations and 4th Akhil Bhartiya Rajbhasha Sammelan on September 14th in New Delhi. Inspired by Prime Minister Modi, the Ministry of Home Affairs Official Language Department has organized Akhil Bhartiya Rajbhasha Sammelan every year since 2021, emphasizing on the development of Hindi and Indian languages. Minister Amit Shah will also launch a commemorative postage stamp and a coin to mark this Diamond Jubilee memorable. Bhartiya Bhasha Anubhag has been established with the objective to promote the use of Indian languages along with Hindi. Heavy rains continue to lash India's national capital, New Delhi, bringing much needed relief to residents enduring weeks of sweltering heat and humidity and lowering temperatures and improving air quality across the city. But this also caused waterlogging and traffic disruptions in several parts of the city. The Met Department says that convective clouds are responsible for the moderate to intense rainfall in most parts of Delhi. A high-profile delegation from National Association of Software and Service Companies, Nascom, visited the UAE this week and is actively exploring the market opportunities, investment prospects and the legal framework in the UAE aimed at boosting the Indian technology industry's footprint in the region. The Nascom delegation also attended a 2-day AI and Web3 summit at Medina Jumeirah, Dubai. Also, during a key address at a business event on September 13th at Dubai, the Nascom leadership emphasized on the remarkable growth trajectory of India's tech sector, reflecting on its rise from a modest $15 million in export revenue in 1988 to a staggering $199 billion today. This transformation, driven by human capital and technological innovation, highlights India's evolution to a leader in global tech development. The Indian tech industry, built on the strength of human resources and bolstered by robust government support, has now become a global powerhouse. The delegation's visit to the Middle East is timely as the region is experiencing significant investments in digital infrastructure, particularly in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Kuwait. These countries are pouring resources into building smart cities and digital ecosystems, opening doors for Indian tech firms to collaborate and grow. Despite its impressive global performance, West Asia has not yet emerged as a top market for Indian tech exports. However, this is expected to change in the coming years as digital transformation projects across the Gulf Cooperation Council nations create new opportunities for Indian companies. And now we take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India. The BSF and Jammu and Kashmir police recently conducted a joint march past along the international border in the Pargwal sector. This show of strength and coordination is part of the ongoing efforts to maintain security and vigilance in the region, particularly along the sensitive border areas. The march past highlighted the close collaboration between the BSF, responsible for guarding India's international borders, and the Jammu and Kashmir police, which plays a crucial role in maintaining internal security and law enforcement in the state. The renowned Sabrimala temple in Kerala opened on the special Onam Pujas, an important ritual marking the harvest festival celebrated across the state. The temple, dedicated to Lord Ayyappa, sees thousands of devotees flocking to offer prayers during this auspicious period. The temple will remain open for a limited period of Onam festivities, allowing devotees to participate in special pujas, prayers and offerings associated with the festival. Ganesh Chaturthi, the grand Indian festival dedicated to Lord Ganesha, gets celebrated with great joy and pomp in Udaipur. Devotees came together to offer prayers, chant devotional hymns and participate in various cultural events that mark the occasion. Devotees installed idols of Lord Ganesha in their homes and public pandals to honor the deity. The festival fosters a sense of community, joy and spiritual reverence across the country. All right, on to sports now. The most awaited duel in the Hero Asian Champions Trophy is finally here, with India taking on nemesis Pakistan on Saturday at Moki Hockey Training Base in Hulun Buir in China. While India, led by ace captain Harmanpreet Singh, will go into the match as table toppers, Ahmad Butt-led Pakistan will take on India as an unbeaten side placed number 2 in the points table. Defending champions India have played the tournament as true favourites, clinching each match at the tournament. They have beaten hosts China, Japan, Malaysia and Korea in their previous matches. India was the first team in the tournament to book a berth in the semis. On the other hand, Pakistan drew 2 each against Malaysia and Korea and also beat Japan and China to climb up to the second spot in the points table. India has outclassed Pakistan quite convincingly at the Asian Games in Hangzhou last year. India beat Pakistan 10-2 in their pool match, and before that, they beat Pakistan 4-0 at the Asian Champions Trophy in Chennai. India's Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has called upon retired sportspersons to apply for the newly launched Retired Sportsperson Empowerment Training Program. The RESET program is designed to support retired athletes in their career development. It allows the skills and experience of retired athletes to benefit young aspiring sports talent. RESET program was launched by Sports Minister on the National Sports Day. At the 45th Chess Olympiad, the Indian men and women made it 3 out of 3 in Budapest on Friday. In the third round, Indian men defeated host Hungary B 3.5 to 0.5, while the women beat Switzerland 3-1. All the other Indian women won as the team justified its billing as a top seed. Despite D. Harika's loss to Alexandra Kostadinova, India's women chess players, including R. Vaishali, Divya Deshmukh and Vantika Agrawal, secured a 3-1 victory over Switzerland. In the open section, India's 100% record was broken by the second team of the host nation. The young trio of D. Gukesh, R. Pragananda and Arjun Erigazi prevailed over Adam Kozak, Tamas Banuz and Peter Proveska, respectively. That's it in this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. And you can download the respective QR codes on the screens now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us at Intelli, thanks for watching DD India Live.